The judge's words sliced through the courtroom like a knife. All assets to your ex-wife and her new husband. The room held its breath, save for the soft shuffle of papers and her smug, satisfied sigh. She didn't look at me, didn't need to. Her hand rested casually on his knee, a silent declaration of victory. I could almost hear the whispers she had rehearsed with him, painting a picture of me, shattered, humiliated, stripped of everything I had built. Perhaps that's exactly what they expected, that I'd break, crumble, beg. Instead, I smiled. Her blink betrayed her momentary surprise, a crack in her practiced poise. That's when I realized she still hadn't grasped something fundamental. This was my stage, not hers. We hadn't always been adversaries. Once I loved her. I trusted her in ways I trusted no one else. We had built a life together, brick by brick. My career, her support, our home, the family dinners where laughter felt genuine. I believed we were aligned, that loyalty meant the same thing to both of us. But for her, loyalty was a measure of what she could gain. And when she found him, my business partner, the man I had welcomed into our circle, she didn't hesitate. I should have noticed sooner. The late nights supposedly spent helping him. The phone turned face down whenever I entered the room. Her laughter at messages I wasn't allowed to see. But I was too blind, too consumed with building an empire, to see her dismantling it behind my back. The truth struck like a blade between my ribs, not from her confession, but from numbers that didn't add up, accounts bleeding money, investments quietly rerouted. He wasn't just in her bed. He was in my books, gutting me with her help. Pain sharpened into something more precise. I didn't confront her, not yet. I swallowed every ounce of betrayal and let it smolder inside me like embers, waiting for the right moment. My strategy began quietly. Every night she assumed I was buried in work, unaware I was drafting, calculating, orchestrating with surgical precision. I moved assets she couldn't touch, offshore trusts, silent partnerships, properties, names she wouldn't recognize, long before she filed for divorce. She thought she was draining me dry, but she only ever touched the shells I left behind. I documented everything. Photos, bank transfers, emails, enough to map the affair and embezzlement like a crime scene. Not for court. No, the legal system was too blunt, too slow. This wasn't about paperwork justice. It was about spectacle. I even planted pieces of information, breadcrumbs meant for her to find. Decoy accounts, false trails of hidden funds. It made her reckless, overconfident. She walked into court certain she had won. And then the judge delivered the knife I had sharpened myself. All assets to your ex-wife and her new husband. The trap had snapped shut. I watched them toast to their victory. The champagne photo she posted that night, the caption, "Starting fresh, new beginnings, everything we deserve." She had no idea she was inheriting more than assets. She inherited debts, lawsuits, pending audits, properties teetering on foreclosure, all carefully funneled into the empire she believed she had stolen. I hadn't lost. I had handed her the rot and kept the fruit. When calls flooded in, from creditors, banks demanding repayment, tenants filing suits, I stayed silent. She assumed it was a mistake, that she could fix it. But every turn she took only led to another wall closing in. Her new husband cracked first. I had prepared a separate trail for him. Fraud charges waiting like wolves on the edge of a firelight. The evidence slipped anonymously into the right hands. He was arrested at dawn one morning, shirt half-buttoned, confusion still clouding his eyes. She wasn't there. She was too busy trying to stop repo men from taking her car. And I was in my new office, signing contracts under names she'd never heard, running a company she didn't know existed. Weeks later, the confrontation finally came. She found me. I had insured it. She stormed into my office, pale, lips trembling. The arrogance was gone, replaced by raw desperation. "You knew," she spat. I leaned back, letting her words hang. Her voice cracked. "You ruined us." "No," I said, calm and deliberate. "You ruined yourself. I just made sure you got everything you asked for." Silence fell heavier than any argument. She looked at me as if seeing me for the first time, not as a man she thought she could outmaneuver, but as the one who had been pulling the strings all along. She had lost everything. The house, the cars, the illusion of security she had believed was hers. Last I heard, she was renting a small apartment, scraping by with a job nowhere near the life she demanded. Her new husband would spend years counting days behind bars. And me? I rebuilt, stronger, quieter, my circle smaller, my moves invisible. Sometimes, the judge's words still echo in my mind, along with the memory of her smug face, her hand on his knee. But now, when I think back, anger is gone. What remains is the satisfaction of knowing I let her walk straight into the fire she had set. They thought they won. They thought they stripped me bare. In reality, all they did was free me from the weight of them. And the best part? They will spend the rest of their lives haunted by the smile I gave them in that courtroom. The smile that said nothing was over. Revenge isn't loud. It's quiet. It's patient. And when it lands, nothing is left standing.